Hello, folks. Welcome to the channel. Look around you, the entire world is running on a totally new kind of juice. For decades, global politics was ruled by Petrostates, countries that controlled the oil. But today, we have officially entered the era of the Global Electrostate. Geopolitics is no longer just about pipelines, it's about power lines. AI, critical minerals, and green energy have completely rewired the global map. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how money, power, and tech are flowing across the world right now in 2026. The basic funda is simple. Whoever controls the plug point today controls the entire global economy. So grab your cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's decode this high-voltage power dynamic. It's going to be a highly charged video. Let's start with a massive shock to the system. Right now, global electricity demand is shooting up by 3.7%. Now you might think, boss, what's the big deal? Here is the scene. For the last 15 years, power demand in advanced economies was sleeping like a laptop on standby mode. Totally flat. But this year, that 15-year stagnation is officially over. Why? Because of an aggressive mix of AI and a massive demographic cliff edge. Countries like Italy are losing millions of working-age people. To survive, they are forced to use robots, automation, and AI to do the heavy lifting. And guess what? AI doesn't need sleep, but it drinks an unbelievable amount of electricity. The global power grid has finally woken up from its nap, and the meter is running fast. So where is all the heavy investment flowing to feed this demand? Straight into brain power. Believe it or not, nearly 50% of all foreign direct investment in Western Europe is now being pumped into digital infrastructure and massive data centers. We are practically entering an era of techno-feudalism, where the tech giants who own these servers act like the new zamindars of the global economy. But here is the tragic reality check, yar. While the West and China are building these massive digital temples, the AI energy gap is getting dangerously wide. Entire continents are literally being left on red. Take Africa, for example, a booming, massive continent. But today, it holds less than 1% of global data capacity. In 2026, the digital divide isn't just about internet speed. It's a brutal electric divide. While the world fights over AI, a historic crossover has quietly just happened. For the very first time in human history, China's clean energy capacity has officially crossed its fossil fuel capacity. That is a massive tipping point. While the US and China are locked in an intense AI race, where, by the way, Chinese AI labs are doing some serious tech jugaad, building top-tier models at a fraction of the cost, China is also aggressively securing the actual juice to run that AI. They are basically telling the globe, you can't have a green tech revolution without our green signal. Solar panels, wind turbines, and clean tech are the new oil wells, my friends, and Beijing is drilling faster than anyone else on the planet. But you can't build these solar panels out of thin air, right? That brings us to the ground reality. Geopolitical dominance is no longer drilled out of the ocean. It is mined straight from the dirt. Forget crude oil. The ultimate VIPs of 2026 are lithium, cobalt, and rare earth elements. Control the ground and you control the future. It's a literal gold rush, but for green metals. If you want to manufacture an EV battery or the very smartphone you're watching this video on, you need this exact stuff. The country that controls this supply chain holds the remote control to the entire global economy. It's no longer just about who has the smartest software engineers in Silicon Valley. It's about who has the raw dirt to build the hardware. And in this aggressive dirt-digging contest, someone has to lose. Unfortunately, that is Europe. They have emerged as the biggest casualty in the ongoing US-China rare earth tug-of-war. Because of brutal supply chain shocks and crazy new mitigation rules, European companies are packing their bags and migrating their factories overseas. It's a critical loss of sovereign capability, meaning Europe is losing its independent industrial backbone. Basically, while two giant elephants, America and China, are fighting in the jungle, the European grass is getting completely crushed. they are facing a serious power cut in their manufacturing might. As the heavy industries leave, the lights are slowly dimming on their old industrial glory. Now let's talk about the world's electricity bill. Last year, in 2025, global energy investments hit a record $3.3 trillion. Sounds like a mountain of cash, right? But hold on, there's a massive catch. To actually reach our net zero targets and save the planet from roasting, the world needs $4.8 trillion every single year. That is a $1 trillion shortfall. Our new global power grid is super demanding and requires an unprecedented level of capital. It's like trying to run a massive 8K home theater system on a simple AA battery. If countries and private investors don't figure out this heavy climate financing jagad soon, this whole green earth dream will just remain a fancy PowerPoint presentation. Because of all this chaos, the way global money moves has completely flipped. Out of 101 top global investment leaders, 73 are officially citing geopolitical disruption, like trade wars and sanctions, as the single biggest risk to the market today. The old Victorian era, Western-led globalization? Boss, that ship has well and truly sailed. The flow of global capital is taking a sharp U-turn, redirecting decisively towards the global south and the east. Investors are tired of the Western trade drama and are packing their bags for safer, more predictable harbors. The traditional financial map of the world is being torn up as we speak, and the money is flowing straight to where the actual growth is happening. Want proof of this massive shift? Just look at the Middle East. The UAE recently made a staggering $50 billion single-country pledge to Canada. $50 billion. The center of gravity has completely shifted. Sovereign wealth funds from the Gulf and Asia are flexing some serious financial muscle. In fact, a massive 85% of investment leaders now expect the Asia-Pacific region to completely dominate capital outflows, closely followed by the Gulf nations. The West is no longer the default ATM for the world. The East is now the one dispensing the heavy cash, and they are buying up global influence, asset by asset, port by port. Speaking of buying influence, remember China's famous Belt and Road Initiative? For years, they used it to build standard bridges, railways, and ports across developing nations. But in 2026, they have upgraded their software. Their massive investments are now strictly targeting what they call the new three industries: electric vehicles, batteries, and renewable energy. They are not just building the physical highways anymore. They are providing the smart EVs that will drive on them, and the solar grids that will charge them. It is a brilliant masterstroke to permanently plug developing nations directly into the Chinese green tech ecosystem. But remember, every electrical current faces some high resistance. A massive 74% of global executives are pointing to trade tariffs as the single most disruptive force this year. Remember the golden days of open, free global trade? Totally over. Now, inbound investment screening and harsh economic security mandates are the new border walls. For example, over in the EU, investment screening notifications jump by a massive 73%. Countries are happily blocking foreign money in the name of national security. It's like saying, "Boss, we want your business, but first, let us do a full background check on your great-grandfather." High-resistance trade is the new normal. Now, this next trend is super exciting for us. For decades, the ultimate Indian tech dream was grabbing that shiny US H-1B visa. But as the US keeps raising visa barriers and makes immigration a massive headache, guess who is capitalizing? India. As America pushes top talent away, India is rapidly pulling it in. We are seeing a massive shift from brain drain to brain gain. High-end AI development centers and global capability centers, or GCCs, are popping up everywhere, anchoring brilliant human talent right where it is actually welcome. Why stand in an endless visa line when you can build cutting-edge AI from Bengaluru, Pune, or Hyderabad? America's strict borders are literally acting as a catalyst for India's tech boom. Because of all these unpredictable visa rules, tariffs, and supply chain shocks, corporate strategy has completely changed. A decade ago, multinational companies had one simple rule: set up your factory wherever the labor is cheapest. Not anymore. The lowest cost location is no longer the ultimate prize. Today, CEOs want to be shock proof. The new calculus demands geoeconomic alignment and policy predictability. Basically, companies are willing to make a little less profit if it means they are insulated from sudden global shocks, like a pandemic or a sudden trade war. It's all about finding a safe, reliable socket to plug your business into, prioritizing resilience over pure financial returns. And that brings us to the ultimate big picture, the global electrostate of 2026. Look at the map today. The world has literally been redrawn. It is no longer a unipolar world dictated by just one Western superpower. We now live in a strictly polycentric world, multiple power centers heavily wired together. This new reality is forged by rapid tech innovation, absolute control over critical minerals, and strategic capital flowing heavily from the East and South. From the AI labs in the US and China, to the booming tech hubs in India, to the deep pockets of the Gulf, the new global grid is officially live. The only question you need to ask yourself is your career, your business, and your country plugged in? Or are you getting left in the dark? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, stay charged.